The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
Ghost stories,
folklore,
psychics and mediums,
shamanism,
paranormal investigations,
haunted locations, and all that other weird shit.
You're listening to the Traveler's Moon Podcast
with the Paranomad, Chris Nielsen,
and Kelly McCarville, Moonspinner.
Here's your host, Kelly McCarville.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Happy Wednesday night. Thank you for tuning in to the Traveler's Moon Podcast. I am your host, Kelly McCarville, and this is crickets. Do you hear the crickets? That's because, for the moment at least, guys, I am here by myself. So, Mr. Nielsen is detained late at work, but he is going to be joining us as soon as he is able to. So for anybody who happens to be listening that is not able to comment, you do need to log in and have an account. Make sure that you're logged in. And then I'm trying to think how you get to the comment section. If anybody knows how to help other people find the comments, let them know, because I'm on my computer and I can't remember how to do it. I forget these things. So, but yeah, what we're doing tonight, guys, is we are going to do some live readings. And I know that this is a little different for anybody who's tuned in with me before to do live readings, because typically you can see us, you can see the card, but very honestly, guys, the cards are just something that's pretty. It's more important that you hear the message that we're giving to you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do my best to keep track of you guys as you come in and you request a reading. So I'm going to write your name down. We're going to try to get to as many as we can. We do know that the show usually runs about an hour, and I'm guessing that based on how these have gone before, there's a potential that we may go past an hour. So just letting you guys know, and letting Shay know, I guess I should have told her this before we started. If we are getting towards the end of an hour and we're not through with everybody yet, we have discussed switching over then to a Facebook Live and finishing up there. So have no fear. We're going to try to get to everybody that we can. I see everybody in chat jumping in. Thank you, guys. Hello to Kim and Shay and Tom and Mama Deb and Lisa. Yeah, who else we got in here? Mr. Darren. Okay, so we're writing down names quick. We're just going to give everybody a little bit of time to get logged in and start getting those requests in for reading. So for anybody who would happen to be tuning into the show for the first time or isn't really familiar with how these readings work, I'm going to explain to you at least how I do readings. When Chris gets here to do readings, I'll tell you guys, it's going to be his first night of doing readings like this, doing them live on the air for people. He's obviously done readings before for us when we've done like intuitive retreats. He'll participate in those, and he's done them just individually for friends and family. But doing them in a setting like this is his first time. So we are all super, super excited for him and for that. Okay. Ron, I'll go ahead and get you on the list there. Technical difficulties, dude. I gotcha. Hey, Mama. All right, so for my readings, the way that these work for me, if you haven't checked out the Traveler's Moon posting, go look at all the cards that I have in front of me. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have a dozen deck of cards in front of me. Sorry, I'm writing down names as I go. Thomas, will you tell me because my brain is horrible. And to be fair, I wasn't exactly sober when I met you. Do you go by Tom or Thomas? Okay, let me see. Deb. Okay. Hey, there's Ron. You made it in there. Okay. So again, for anybody who is just tuning into the show, if you are not able to comment yet, you do need to create an account within Spreaker. It's free. It's super simple. It takes just a couple minutes to get that going. And once you do get logged in, then you'll be able to make comments and request a reading. If you are absolutely struggling and cannot get logged in to comment in chat, and we're friends on Facebook, you are welcome to message me, and I'll get you added to the list that way too. So I of all people, understand technical difficulties. I think there may have been one or two people sober at MI, but I was, but I also have listening issues, which anybody who knows me well will tell you that. So anyways, okay. I squirrel a lot and my energy levels are going high, so y'all are going to have to stick with me tonight because I'm a little bouncy. Okay, so I have 12 decks out in front of me, and of those 12 decks, just to let you know, I have one tarot deck. And that is the Raven's Prophecy tarot deck. And it's a new one that I got when we were down in New Orleans on our trip. So that one's super exciting. Most of these decks that I have out here are new. And I haven't used them a ton yet, which is part of the reason that I selected these particular decks. But then I did pull some of my favorites. Like I've got my Moonology deck. I will let you guys know when I feel the need. I also have a deck in here that's called the Rebel deck. For anybody who is easily offended, let me know now, and I will not use the Rebel deck because it is not a deck for the weak of heart. But it's definitely one that gets straight to the point. So, all right. So, people are still popping in here. Hey, Matt. Hey, Brittany and Tanner. I'm seeing if I'm missing anybody. All right. So, we've got several names on the list, guys. I've got one. Sorry, I scrolled again. I have one tarot deck, and the rest of them are oracle decks. I'm more partial to oracle decks, and the only difference is a tarot deck has a certain structure. It's a deck of 78 cards, 4 minor arcana, and then a major arcana. There's a structure to it. The oracle cards can be any number of cards, and they're usually some sort of a theme. So, but I've always been more partial to the tarot or to the oracle decks. So I'll be using those. And I usually just use whatever deck that I'm drawn to. If you have your heart set on me using a particular deck that you saw in the picture or that you know I have, if I have it down here with me, I'll use it unless I feel like it's really wrong. Okay. So far on the list, guys, I've got Kim, Lisa, Ron, Tom, Mama Deb, and Darren. If I missed anybody, I didn't mean to, go ahead and put your name back in chat and say me again, because I'm going to try to do my best to watch chat. After each reading, I'll have to go back and kind of catch up, because while I'm doing the reading, I'm going to be focused on what it is that I'm telling you guys. I am a psychic medium, so I'm going to use some of my intuitive abilities to do these readings as well. I'll draw the card for you. I'll tell you what the book says about it, but then I'm going to tell you what my gut feelings are about it, what I think it means, what my interpretation of it is as well. When Chris gets here, we're going to let him explain how he feels most comfortable doing it, because you'll find out with all readers that we do things just a little bit different, and that's just, it's a normal thing. Everybody does things their own way. I might be a meanie, Darren. It's what I do. But this deck allows me to. This deck allows me to tell you to fuck off, and it wasn't even me that did it. It was the cards. So, I mean, like, I just pulled the deck up and I cut it, and the top card says you need some fucking yoga in your life. So, like I said, it is not a deck for the weak of heart. If you are not comfortable with that, just let me know. All right. We are going to go ahead and get started. So Miss Kim, we are going to go with the Garden Dragon cards for you. This is a new deck, but it's just super adorable. There's itty bitty little dragons on here. Now, this is going to be, and you guys have to let me know if this gets too stupid loud, because obviously I have to shuffle the cards. If it gets too loud for me to do it on the table, I'll do it the old lady way, and I'll shuffle them out in my hands without shuffling like normal. But it's Gail and Jim. Hi, guys. Gail's amazing, just for anybody who wants to know. Yeah, she's an awesome, awesome reader. She's the owner of Whispers Heal Your World in Des Moines, Iowa. An amazing shop. All right, Miss Kimmy. All right. So for you, my dear, I drew the Honeydew Dragon card. And this card means the Honeydew Dragon knows about lists rather than a burden. It is grateful for all those honeydew lists, but the list it loves the most, the one that expresses gratitude. You can't get through all of life's challenges if you lose sight of what and whom you are grateful for. When you see this card, you are being reminded to stop and smell the flowers. Don't put off writing down the things that made you smile today. Even the tiny things like an unexpected smile from a stranger are causes for thankfulness. So, where I feel this card's going for you, Kim, is you have a lot of things on your shoulders, and you take a lot of burdens on your shoulder, and you have a lot of things in your past that causes that stress and causes you to sometimes maybe have a little bit of a shadow on you seeing the world. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that that's unjustified. I'm just saying that we need to remember when we have a natural ability to do that, because I'm there too, hon. You know me well enough to know that I not everything is sunshine and rainbows in my life. Sometimes we have to stop and remember to take a look at the world around us and see the things, find the good, instead of only seeing and only recognizing the things that are going wrong, the things that are not quite working right for you or working right for other people. Just remember to really appreciate the good things that you do have in your life, the friends, the family that you have in your life, the opportunities that you have. Yeah. And the other thing that I think that it's saying too is sometimes when we feel like there's things missing from our life, it's because there are things that are missing from our lives. But we can't always sit around and wait for somebody else to fix that for us. Sometimes we have to be the ones responsible for making that better. So if you're feeling like you're not getting enough opportunity to go and do something, don't wait for other people to contact you to figure that out. Call them, make it happen. Arrange something, make it happen. If you're not getting time with the people that you want, ask for time with them. It's not that people don't want to be around you, and it's not that people don't enjoy your company. It's just everybody's busy and they forget, just like, or they feel uncomfortable like you do, reaching out to other people and saying, hey, I'd really love some time together with you. So I am going to draw one from the Rebel deck for you just because you're my Kimmy and I can. All right, what do you got for Kim today? This Rebel deck came from Gail's shop, by the way. She's the one who introduced me to this. All right, what do we got here? All right, this says, believe what you see. Face reality or live in fucking La La Land. Choose bravely. So again, this is talking about what you see and understanding in what you see and putting your energy and your strength behind that versus, sorry, I'm shutting the door, guys. Make the things that you see be the good things. You are a bad influence, Gail, but that's why we get along so well. You, me, Mom, we're like goddamn peas in a pod. We need another day, by the way, just to say, where we all sit down and we sit in our little triangle at our table and we just get our witch on good. So, all right. So we got Miss Kim done. And I do believe, folks, that I have heard a motorcycle pull into the garage. So hopefully we are going to be getting some company here soon. All right. Lisa W., are you my Lisa Marie? I just want to know. Deck. Yep. All right. So for you, I'm going to use the Mystical Shaman Oracle. I thought that was you. It's good to hear from you. This is a very new deck for me. And this is one that I have eyeballed for years, and I just had never pulled the trigger on it because it's a little pricier. But, yeah, I'd been looking at it forever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting it. You know why? Because I deserve it. That was why. That was for you, Kim. You deserve it. Sometimes you got to reward yourself. Do the things you want to do. Make it happen. I know. I miss coming up north, but there's not shows that take me up that far. Although, we did go up to Duluth, Minnesota for a Paracon, so I'll have to let you know next time we're up there, and maybe you'll have to road trip and come north. All right, Lisa. Ooh, that's a pretty card. Okay. So the card that I drew for you is called the Rattle. This card is saying, the rattle is the spirit caller carrying the shaman's prayer to the four directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in her future, choosing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. The rattles guide us to pray for all the earth, not just for our personal needs. Yay! Woo! Woo! I'm not alone anymore. Okay, hang on. We're still here, hon. We're just...
What is happening, everybody? Sorry,
Oh,
a little
Jesus
late.
Christ.
There's a work problem. I got a little tied up, but I'm here now. I've got runes. I've got the deck of Oracle
I'm
cards
more
to take
worried
care of
about
me.
the entire bottle of scotch you carried in with you.
Well, you know, it's a party.
He's nervous, folks. I do believe he's nervous. That's not him peeing, by the way.
That's a... It sounds like a lot more generous pour than it actually was.
Are you good?
Oh, yeah, I'm just sniffing.
All right. Well, we've only done one reading so far. We drew for Kim. So if you want to back up, if you want to draw a card for Kim, because I'm sure she would love that. Right now, we're reading some breeds.
Sure, if
Did you just bring down the one deck?
Yeah, because I saw the Facebook post, assumed you were all over this.
These are mine.
Are you using every single one of those?
These are mine. Okay, I'll share. Oof. Well, traumatized break the moment. Woo. Okay. Lisa, I'm going to start this over for you, honey. I got to go back and look for if anybody wanted readings anyways, because I told you guys I would look, and I failed miserably because I suck. So how was work?
It was lengthy. It was work, as work, tends to be.
Sounded like he was on a pole or something. Okay. All right.
That's obscenely cheap scotch.
Which means it's bad.
It's not as bad as it could be.
Scotch is never good.
Oh, you shut your mouth.
I can't. I have to read for Lisa. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to start over for you, sweetheart, because I did get distracted with the arrival of a man. I had a man delivered, and, Okay. Would you like to draw a card for Miss Lisa while I'm reading? All right. The rattle is the spirit caller, carrying the shaman's prayer to the 4 directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in the future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. The rattle guides us to pray for all of earth, not just for our personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided for us. The rattle comes to invite you to work with the tools of spirit, but be careful, they are very sharp and can hurt you and others if they are not used mindfully. Set your old tools aside and take up the drawing instruments of spirit. You are consciously stepping into partnership with the divine. This is the time for courageous deeds. Do not let your hesitation get in the way of your expression. You want to catch God on the whisper, not on the shout. What you are trying to craft to your own desires and expectations are already there, standing before you. Do not spin the world to your own benefit. You are being offered the Creator's tool, which must be put to use to serve a divine purpose. Okay, hon. So here's what I think this is saying. And I'm going to, and I should have prefaced this when I was talking a little earlier. I told you guys I was going to read what was in the book, and I was going to tell you what feelings I was getting to things, on things. Okay. I was looking to see if I'd missed any others before I wrote her down. This is talking about how, you need to look at the greater good for all, but you need to also look at what it is that you need to do. And I think that this is, I'm going to disagree with the book just a little bit because it talks about, offer your prayers for the highest good of all. Everything. Yes, that is you. You're very much a people person, but almost to the point of a fault. Sometimes you go so far overboard that you want to...
Oh, I was going to let you continue before I told you that's a fantastic segue into mine.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you go overboard giving so much of yourself and so focused on what it is that everybody else wants that you forget to take care of yourself. You forget to take care of the things that you need, and you forget to pay attention to your own desires, your own needs, your own expectations. It's saying don't spin the world to your own benefit, but you almost need to a certain extent. You worry about going too far. You worry that you're going to do too much and you're going to be selfish. I don't think you have it in you. I don't think you have it in you to be selfish. So tilting that axle back just a little bit more to you isn't a bad thing.
And I actually, fantastic transitional piece. I actually got 2 cards for you, Lisa. On occasion, when you're doing this sort of thing, especially working with cards, you get ones that just kind of pop. And those are definitely ones meant to be read. And I got 2 poppers for you. So I'm going to kind of take her translation into a little bit more self-focus. And that self-focus, like she mentioned, can be on occasion detrimental. So I'm pulling from the Rebel deck right now. For those of you familiar, get ready. The first one was, you look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact, clean yourself up. That sounds for me, that transitioned a lot into what Kelly said as far as kind of putting yourself first. And when you keep putting everybody else before you, that has a tendency to do a lot more damage to yourself. And it's like if you're in a plane, the plane's going down, you put on your own oxygen mask first. So that's something that's super important. But as a person who has this personality trait, I get it. I understand, which is why you need to do what the second card says and rebel against that preconceived notion of, what you think that definition of you is. So rebel, because fuck it. is what the card says.
Because fuck it. I did warn him about the Rebel deck.
Oh, the Rebel deck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gail's in chat.
Gail's in chat?
And I believe
Hey,
Jim
Gail.
must be listening to her. And so we have already told everybody what a wonderful influence she is, and yet what a wonderful, horribly bad influence she is as well.
You spent significantly more money on me than me, so I think it's a bad influence on you thus far.
Oh.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll be a mixed influence for me too, Gail.
Yeah, well, you know. And I need to go back down with her and Mama, and we need to do our little triangle at the table and do our little witchy reading shit that we did one day, because that was super fun. So I may abandon you one day and go down and get my witch on. Okay.
I'm not allowed, like, even in the shop that day, or?
You can maybe come hang out with Jim. You muggles and you magical muggles can do your thing. Somebody's got to run the shop while we play. Did you guys want to, did you guys, is there more than one of you? Did you want to pull a card for Kim?
For Kim?
For Kim. We'll catch back up on Kim so she doesn't get gypped. You can use my
Kim.
cards. I was kidding, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not asking for permission. I'll ask for forgiveness later. So, Kim, I don't know how this applies to your life, but the card I just got for you was stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak, and you have the strength to change your world, so do it. I think this is less about, like, actual complaining, because I don't think I've ever heard, like, I don't think I've ever heard Kim really bitch about anything. It's more the latter of that. You have the strength to change your world, so do it is kind of where I'm, what I'm picking up for you specifically.
Do I tell him the secret, Kim?
Is she bitching about something right now?
No, but that's what I told her too.
Oh.
Is that she needs to see the good in the world, and that, you know, it's hard sometimes
And not just that you
to
have to see it, but you have an
make it
influence
happen.
on that.
And that's what I told her last, is that it goes beyond just looking for the good. If you're not having the opportunities you want, if you're not, you know, if you really
Be the
want
change you want to see.
Oh my God, cliche. But I told her, you know, if you want to go on an investigation, then you schedule it, you arrange it, make it happen. So it's funny that ties right into it, and you weren't even here. So look at you go. It's like we know what we're doing or something.
You do. I'm green as hell with this shit.
You got this. All right, Mr. Haskett. You ready for some abuse here?
She is plotting right now so heavily.
Not plotting.
She's wringing her hands together. Like, if they were casting,
I
like,
need that one for sure.
This one, the
Yes,
Rebel.
yes, I need that one for sure.
But I'm working with the Rebel tonight.
I'm a rebel.
But I need the Rebel.
I get to rebel against Ron. Okay. No, you know what? I'm drawn to this one. We're fighting over you, Ron.
So I get the Rebel deck back.
No, I'm gonna read both.
You're gonna read both?
Yes. You get your message, and then you get your thump in the head.
Oh, so that's what we're doing. Like, when one of us has the Rebel deck, it's like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Well, that's what I've done so far. Is I do the reading, and then you get. It's like when I explain something to my kids, and then I thump them up back the head and said, "Now listen to what I said." This is me saying what I have to say. The Rebel deck is now listen to what I said. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready, Ron? All right. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you. The deck that I'm using for you is the Raven's Prophecy deck. It's my new tarot deck from New Orleans.
I thought about grabbing a tarot deck, but I'm not going to embarrass myself.
I almost grabbed your zombie deck.
There's so much liberty to be taken with Oracle decks, I'm almost, like, scared of the tarot.
And I do think that's probably why I don't do more tarot decks, is because I don't like being backed into a corner or being shoved into a box. I want to be able to say what I think they mean. And with tarot, it's so structured. Okay, anyways. 5 of Swords, sir. No one likes to lose. Certainly no one likes to go into a battle knowing they're going to lose. But that's what the Five of Swords is warning you of. All of the fives indicate adversity, and in the fractious sort of sword, it is uglier than most. The fight indicated by this card is an ugly one, with either you or the other party behaving dishonorably in some way, if not outright cheating, bending the rules, or otherwise ignoring ethics. It's also suggested that the fight is not really won by either party, and even if it is, it's a hollow victory. There was never going to be a clear-cut victory, and now there is no clear-cut defeat. The best one can hope for is a bitter compromise. Or you could avoid the destruction this card warns of and choose not to fight. Be the better person, even if it means swallowing your pride or setting aside the conflict for another time. This isn't the time to push forward. It's never going to be satisfying. It's just going to hurt you as much as it hurts the other party. The art on this card shows feathers falling through the fingers on the hand. Even though you meant to keep a grip on the feathers, some of them were lost along the way. So, I have an unfair advantage, Ron, because I talk to you on occasion. So, I think what this card is telling you, and this kind of goes back to, I'm glad that it's saying this last part. I want to kind of reiterate what this is saying. The art on the card shows feathers falling through the fingers on the hand. Even though you meant to keep a grip on the feathers, some of them were lost along the way. That isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes the things that we are grasping so desperately onto aren't the things that we need in our lives. And we just can't know that until we get that out of the way. We have to remove the things that's stopping us from getting to our better selves, our better lives, our future. And sometimes the things that are, and I'm parenthesing this, in the way, they're not bad things. It's maybe something that you enjoyed or that was meaningful to you or even that you loved, but you have to walk away from that if it's not now the right place for you to be. That doesn't mean that it wasn't right for you to be there at one point. I think people think that when things come into our life or when certain things happen in our life or somebody or something becomes important to us, it's supposed to last forever. And that's not the way that the world works. Things come into our life for a period of time. We don't know what that period of time is going to be. It may be an extremely short period of time. It may be a long period of time. But when it comes to an end, that's the end of that time. And that's not a bad thing. It's the ending of that cycle, and it's time to start the next thing. And I think that that's really what this card is about for you, is it's time to start the next thing. You can fight against that. You can feel the loss. You can mourn the loss. Or you can look forward to the adventures that lay in front of you.
Yeah, and I've got kind of a little bit of a piggyback on that. So I'm pulling from the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards, and I don't have a book definition, mostly because it didn't come with a book. Also, these ones I feel like they're more open to kind of interpretation here. And the card I pulled was self-love, and I think if I may piggyback off of that, what she's talking about is, in an essence, just kind of being true and honest to where you're at in life. And that's one of the highest forms of self-love. And it is difficult. It's hard to let go of one thing and start another. But at the end of the day, the fact that you're doing what you want, what's best for you, is, that's what self-love is.
And sometimes it's especially hard to love ourselves when we're not receiving the love from other people that we hope for. I don't know how to say it other than that without saying too much. But sometimes we look for validation of our own self-worth through what others think of us, through how others interact with us. And I do that too. I'm horrible about it. That I put a lot of value on what others think of me.
Well, that's a fascinating thing, too, when it comes to... I mean, I don't think anybody really masters self-love, but the better you get at it, the less that shit seems to matter.
Yeah, it's
you don't care what other people have to say or think because you like you. You don't need validation because the only person that really matters, cares about you, and that at the end of the day is you.
Yep. All right, you ready for your thump in the head, Ron? Here we go. Some good shit is about to happen. Don't let your issues fuck it up. Boom, baby. That's basically what we're saying.
That's pop brownie.
Should I be concerned that my son just walked into the room and very shiftily handed me a little package of brownies?
No, those are definitely pop brownies.
This just went from drunk readings to stone dreams, didn't it?
Way better, not me.
Hey, we're reaching a higher level of consciousness. Is what
Higher level of consciousness. Those are the weird ones. They're not weird. Let me rephrase. We'll talk about it later.
The weird one.
All right. Sorry, guys. All right. So, Ron, hopefully that all made sense. I don't think it's things you didn't know, but I think it's things that you needed reminded of. And when you need reminding again in the future, I will remind you again. Oh, you thought the easy one was your thump in the head? No. All right. Next one is our Michigan friend, Tom.
What's up, Thomas? I'm going to go ahead and let you lead the way because I've got the Rebel deck back in my hands, which means I am officially bad cop.
I feel like just reading the Rebel deck is a get-out-of-jail-free card.
I mean, I've got my other ones here. If I feel inclined, I'll do it. But I'm going off intuition right now, which means I want to hold the pretty ones that swear.
Okay. I need room to shuffle. You're in charge of this.
Okay.
I left you room to put all of your cards, and you're not even using it. I could have brought down more decks of cards.
I'm not excessive with my readings. Like, I've got all aspects of my personality here. I've got my shamanic healing cards. I've got a little sack of runes, so I felt so inclined. I've got the ones that use profanity. I'm, in a nutshell.
Are you saying I'm excessive?
Do you deny it if I said yes?
I'm not. I do not have a problem. I'm an enthusiast. I'm not an addict. I do not have a problem with tarot cards and oracle decks. I'm an enthusiast, a collector.
Hang on, we have to address chat real quick. Kim just said pot puppy chow was better than brownies. What the fuck?
I didn't know that.
I just learned a new thing. I mean, I guess anything that you could incorporate with Kim. Next time we hang out.
All right, focus. We're reading. All right, Tom. So, let's see. What messages do we have for you? All right.
Well, that's pretty.
This deck is so pretty. So the card that I drew for you is called Concealed Power. Give birth to the wonder of revelation. Most of the challenges we undergo have potential to introduce us to our innovative capabilities. When something out of the norm happens, creative people go inward and explore their resources to turn things around and put them to imaginative use. As we claim our creative power and embrace a new experience, we are open to the future that awaits us beyond the known, beyond certainty, beyond what has already been dreamed before. This oracle brings you a message of divine guidance. You have been created with a power beyond that which you can imagine. You possess a creative potential so vast and wondrous it cannot be measured by any known standards. Know you are something more than you have been taught to believe, and that there is a higher energy available to you. It is time for you to realize the inherent power which lies dormant in you. In your own unique way, you are as creative as anyone else. Take a chance and express your ideas and inspiration for making changes and achieving your desires. If you feel something within you is stopping you from achieving your joyful dreams, it is time for you to let go of that feeling and accept the energies that are flowing through you in the fullness of love. Now is the time to respond creatively to the awe and wonder you feel and see around you. When you're having trouble with this, remind yourself, I have been created to create. From now on, every day, I will find something creative to do with my life. So, I think what this card is saying is that you, and I know this is my first reading with you, so I'll tell you and anybody else who's new to my readings, I call things as I see them. I call things as I feel them. So, and I don't hold punches because I don't feel that does anybody good. So I know that you have a hard time sometimes seeing the value in yourself, and you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, and you're seeing other people's lives and thinking their lives are so amazing. I wish mine could be that way. And I get all of that. But I think one of the things that definitely needs to be reminded, you need to be reminded of, it doesn't matter how together it appears that we have our shit. We all are one big clusterfuck of a mess. We just are. So it may look glamorous. It may look like everybody else has wonderful lives and never has any problems, but that's not the reality of things. We push on. We continue to keep moving forward.
We're all messed up.
We're all messed up. But I think you need to start, and you have in a lot of ways, and just a little bit of time I spent with you, I saw some of this already, but I need you to embrace this more. I need you to embrace who you are. And I need you to be okay with who you are. You're enough. You're absolutely enough. And in the places where you're still trying to figure out what that is, you just embrace it. You know, you one day at a time. And I know that sounds like an alcoholic statement, but sometimes that's all we can do is one day at a time, no matter what it is that we're dealing with, no matter what it is that we're trying to work to better, whatever we're trying to understand about ourselves. It's one day at a time, and we change as we go. You know, the person that I am now is not the person that I was 10 years ago, and it's not the person that I was 20 years ago. We are constantly changing. So roll with those changes, embrace them. Find the things that you can bring to the table. When you see other people implementing an idea and you thought, well, I had that idea, start working with yourself to figure out, how can I bring those ideas to the table? How can I manifest this happening? It kind of goes back to what I was telling Kim in the very first reading. Make shit happen for you. You can do it. I know you can. So make shit happen, dude.
All right, brother. Rebel deck coming at you. I don't know if it's necessarily bad cop at this point. It's more the comic relief. It kind of fits. Stop texting, stop talking, stop checking on that person. Just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste your time on ridiculousness. I don't think it's referring to a single particular person. I think, honestly, so I don't even know if it's necessarily stop focusing on people in general. I think that what I'm pulling from that is more or less the message of, you have your own shit. You have your own contribution. I'm rereading the card real quick to see if there's one solid takeaway like Kelly does. I'm very new to this. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
The spend your time on someone worth it, I don't think is referring to anything external. I think that someone worth it is someone internal. I think that that someone is you. And, spend your time on someone worth it. And you are, regardless of, how things feel at times, you are someone who is worth it.
Yeah, definitely. It's and it just plays back into the life that people post on Facebook. It's not necessarily reality. Everybody posts the best of the best, and I always find it funny.
Fantastic example, actually. So Kelly's got a friend. She's kind of a mutual acquaintance for me. She goes to the gym I work at. I think she was under the impression we were like just at Ohio State Reformatory, when really it's been like a couple weeks, better part of a month.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been better part of a month. She thinks we were just there because it was just coming out on Facebook. The scope that I don't think humanity has ever had like a bigger double-edged sword than social media. Maybe organized religion. But I feel like that's a totally different podcast.
Well, but it's just like, I'll see people post something online, and they're like, oh, my life is wonderful, my marriage is wonderful, my kids
But in reality,
are
it's hot garbage.
And I'm like, you were just telling me yesterday that you're going to leave your husband, and your kids are the Satan's spawn. It's like, it's not reality. So just keep that in mind. So, anyways. All right. Hopefully that resonated, Tom. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you don't hate me for beating you up a little bit.
Mama Deb.
See in you what we see in you, please. Mama Debbie. Does she ever go by Debbie, Shay? Can I call her Debbie? Because that makes me happy. We call my mom Patty. Well, I don't. But the Mexican relatives all call her Patty.
If you want to be super technical, I would assume Dan class is on because...
Oh, yeah.
Because he heard you were doing readings tonight.
Oh, is he?
I would assume so.
It's a possibility. I know he listens and he doesn't always chat sometimes, but...
Never mind. I won't open up that... I'm not going to spill those beans. I decided otherwise.
Oh, well, no.
Let's go, Mama Deb.
Now I want to know what you're talking about. But... Oh, yeah. Yeah. So anyways, my Mexicans call my mama Patty. So it just cracks me up. So seems like it should be Mama Patty and Mama Debbie. Okay.
MPMD.
Allison. Hi, Allison. Yes, Ohio State is super cool. It is definitely on our travel list, Mr. Darren. Tom, it's not all I feel off of you. It's not. I feel what you bring, and I feel what you have to offer. I wish you could see that too. And so we're going to continue to remind you, and you're going to continue to work on it too. And
that's all you really can do is work. So it's like...
It's one day at a time.
As someone who's like struggled with mental health issues pretty much their entire life, that's, like Kelly said, that's all you really can do. Is there's as bleak of a prognosis it is, it's hard to say whether or not there's an actual like finish line, but like one day at a time, just kind of chipping away, it does wonders. Things get better. Yeah. So no, please don't think that that's all that I felt or saw of you. I saw so much more to you than that. So you're good. No, because with Kelly being like full blown empath, me having it a little bit. I don't know if it's necessarily oversharing, but there was a bit of that. But I also met a lot of excitement.
Oh yeah,
in you, brother. I could feel how proud you were to be where you were at when we met you, and those are the little things that you hang on to and just kind of let them pull you to the next like stopping point, your next little milestone.
Yep. All right, let's get Mama Deb done. And that might take us up to the end of our time here. We'll have to decide.
Did you tell them about the thing?
I may have, yes.
Okay, good. There will be a brief intermission, though, because I am not dressed for a camera. My hair is slicked back, which almost never happens.
Oh.
And
I'm like, why are we intermitting? Okay. I gotcha. All right, Mama Deb. I
Need a
am
hat.
using the Beyond Lemuria deck for you. This again is another new deck. Let's see what we got for you. Why do you guys always come and go just when we're being quiet drawing cards? So
It doesn't matter whether or not you're trying to. You're fucking doing it, son.
Trying to be sneaky. You guys are the one who's pointing it out.
It's a really sensitive microphone.
Okay.
All right, bye. All right. Mama Deb, the card that I drew for you is called the Sound of the Universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality and influence us so that life will never be the same again. When I started channeling paintings, I explored sacred geometry by including it as a key element in my creations. This is from the author, by the way, without knowing much about its meaning. When I look up the wisdom of the Sri Yantra,
Sri Yantra.
I was blown away. It symbolizes the sound of the universe. The painting was crucial for me as it was my make or break decide for whether I could fulfill my dream as a painter. This is a powerful symbol described as the tuning fork that connects us to the universal consciousness. It is present in those aha moments and fragments in time when life as we know it falls away to reveal a place outside mundane. It brings a sense of awe and overwhelms, and yet it feels so real that it jolts us back to our core for deeper remembering. It allows us to fathom our limitlessness. This card is also about music as a sacred tool. It speaks of the importance of having a soundtrack for your journey. Music was an essential aspect of ceremony in Lemuria, as it bridged the gap between matter and non-matter. Even in this dimension, music opens the portals to an array of feelings and atmospheres. Bring more music into your life to expand your experiences and shift your sense of ordinary. Have your world shaken up, even a little, can invite a deeper glimpse of the great mystery of your life. There are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane world. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and intuitive creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to naturally imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Wake up to the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multidimensional world. So, let's talk a lot about music and dancing, and I don't know that I would go as far as to say, like, you're supposed to go dancing around naked in your living room or anything like that, but what are you... Oh.
I'm trying to hit people in chat.
Okay. I think more what this is talking about, Ma, is just that there's some things coming that are going to be different for you, and you need to just kind of go with the flow. This very much feels like something new and kind of, it's exciting, but yet it's scary, almost a little uncomfortable, but in a good way. I don't know how to explain it other than that, and they're really not giving me what it is. And I hate when they give me just little bits and pieces and then they don't tell me what it is, because then I have to give you these stupid vague readings, which I hate doing. But it feels like I'm going to leave it at this feels very much like something new coming into your life that is going to put you outside of your comfort zone. And I am not saying you're old, but it's most definitely going to cross your mind, I'm too old for this shit. But it's going to be the right thing for you to do. So whatever this is, go with the flow. Shay, I hope you're listening to this too, so you can remind Mama when whatever this comes up, and she starts saying, I can't believe this is happening. Remind her that this is coming, and no matter how weird and how out of the ordinary it seems, she needs to embrace this and she needs to roll with it, and it's going to be fun. So, yeah.
The card I'm looking at right now actually says, seriously, just do it.
I love it. What was the front of it? You're not going to swear at her?
So I don't think it applies, though, because it says
no, it doesn't.
fucking apologize.
No, it doesn't apply
So
to her.
if that's for somebody else, and you feel like, hey, maybe there's someone in my life who maybe,
No,
just
that's not
maybe,
her.
I owe an apology to. I don't think it's Mama Deb. But whoever is listening to this and thinking, oh, that might apply to me, just know, fucking apologize.
And that's not you, Mama Deb. That is someone else. So that was one of the things I didn't talk about early on in the readings either, is that a lot of times the messages that we're giving over the shows like this, even though we're reading for Mama Deb this particular time, doesn't mean that that message isn't meant for somebody else who's listening to also hear that message, You know
what really pisses me off? When I'm giving a reading.
And it's
for me.
Yes. Well, see, and okay, so those are the times where it's really, and I have this happen all the time, I'll be giving a reading for somebody else, and my fun little snarky ass spirit guide is sitting in the corner here going, do you hear what you're saying, Kelly? You are listening to this, right? It's like, shut up. Yes, I'm listening. I hear what I'm saying. Leave me alone. Doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does. So, yeah. And I find that people come to me for readings for things that I've had go on in my life. And it's just weird because it's like, oh, I've been there, But yeah, so if you are listening to the message and you're like, oh yeah, that absolutely connects with me too, even if it's not technically your reading, you were still meant to hear that message as well. So as far as the fucking apologize, yeah, that wasn't meant for Mom and Dad, but the just do it, absolutely. So... All right, kids. Well, we are 2 minutes to 9, and we want to be respectful of our lovely, wonderful producer, Miss Shay. So, apology meant to her, not from her.
Oh. Well, you better hope someone listening
If not, I know people.
Gets what's going on.
I know people. So.
All right. So, does it mean we're about ready for that time?
I think so. So, guys, if you are listening here, and we've got your name on the list still. So we've got Darren, Brittany, Tanner. I don't know if we've missed anybody else, but
Michelle was curious, but she
Michelle?
never actually.
Okay.
Never actually took. So,
and Michelle
Lingenfelter. Hopefully,
Definitely.
I said your last name right.
You are still going to get your reading. I hope you guys can jump over into Facebook with us. We're going to go ahead and finish up our readings over
Brief
on
intermission, maybe
Facebook.
15 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to have about a 10-15 minute break just while we get the live set up on our Traveler's Moon page. And then we'll be right back online, and you'll get to see our wonderfully tired faces.
Does my face look that tired?
No, but mine probably does.
You looked at me when you said it.
No.
I'm also.
I was actually looking
self-conscious
at your
now.
scar from the fireworks. Still,
Oh, yeah.
there's just a little tiny spot right there.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Let us know, for those who had readings, how you felt that went. If it worked to do it this way, and if this worked, we'll do this again
maybe
down
do
the
it again.
road because I think this is fun.
Let's sign off time. All right. Well, let's
what
do
do we
it.
have coming up though? Hang on, we got to put some plugs out there first.
Well, yeah.
We got to do it here too.
That's the where you find us part of the sign off.
Well, we've got some stuff coming up.
We do have some stuff coming up. I was gonna throw it in the sign off this freaking weekend. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Whatever. Go ahead.
Go.
Go.
It's your event. Go.
Okay, fine. All right, guys. So I didn't know if he was going to bring it up or not. So
He was.
We have a failure to communicate here. So this coming weekend, September 25th and 26th, is the Ames Psychic and Paranormal Expo that myself and Mama Pat put on. We are going to be at the Shaman building on the ISU campus. Hours are Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from 10 to 5. Admission is just $5 a day. That's next to nothing. That's about the cost of a cup of coffee. And that's going to get you in to see all the vendors, talk to everybody, and lets you go and watch all of the presentations throughout the day. We have full days of presentations, both Saturday and Sunday, different presentations both days. So definitely, if you are anywhere in the Ames area, or even if you're within a 6-hour driving time, more if you want to, it is most definitely worth it. Swing on into Ames.
And with that, I'm going to take over and thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Traveler's Moon podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chris Nielsen.
I'm Kelly McCarville.
And thank you once again for tuning in. If you're listening to the podcast live, congratulations. You got a hell of a show tonight, 100% interactive. If you're not listening to the live show, well, congratulations. You got to listen to a bunch of Oracle cards reading. And if you ever want to tune into the live show, you can catch us every other Wednesday live on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's every other Wednesday? I've got no point of reference on that. You can find us anywhere on social media at Traveler's Moon. We'll be promoting the shit out of our shows. You can check it out. And then you can tune in to those live shows. Like Kelly mentioned, this upcoming weekend, you can find us in Ames, Iowa. We're doing a paranormal psychic expo, all sorts of good stuff for sale. You can meet us, talk about ghosty shit, psychic-y shit, shamany shit, whatever shit you feel like talking about. I've overused the word shit in this exit, so I'm going to stop using it. In the future, you can find us in November in Flint, Michigan. We'll be at the Mid-Michigan Paracon. You can meet us there. And we'll talk about all sorts of other psychic, paranormal, and shamany.
In between that, they can find us at the Horror and Paranormal Film Festival that is going to be held at the Canberra House.
Skipped a whole goddamn month.
You did. You just went straight from September to November.
I got excited. I'm sorry, everybody. Yes. Okay, so here's the deal, people. For most of you listening, you know Canberra House and Farm. You know it, and you absolutely love it because it's a fantastic haunted location. It's weird how the demographics mix for the paranormal investigator and horror films.
It does look like a place that a horror movie would be held in.
Maybe. It also looks like a quaint little village.
It's so cute.
Like, it looks like a quaint little house. I told Rebecca several times, almost pisses me off how many times, I've had to struggle making it look creepy for promotional pictures. But basically what I'm getting at, you love the Canberra House, you love horror films, stop by October 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Canberra House. They are having a horror movie film festival. You can see a bunch of independent, fantastic horror movies. You'll be able to come on an investigation where Traveler's Moon is actually spearheading the whole goddamn thing, which is very exciting for us. It's going to be a fantastic event. So if you're not doing anything October 8th, 9th, 10th, get your booty down to the Cambria House and Farm. If you're coming over from anywhere west, if you're coming from any shittiest shaman ever. If you're coming anywhere westbound and down, loading up and trucking, just be aware that if you're coming through the Fort Madison area, that bridge is closed. So you want to do a little dippy dip south. You're going to book a hotel for the night, like we are. Maybe shoot for the Illinois side of the river. And that is the longest outro I have ever done for the show.
Are you done talking yet?
All right, everybody. Well, once again, thank you for tuning into the Traveler's Moon podcast. Be sure to share the show. If you're listening to us anywhere after the fact, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or anything like that, be sure to give us a 5-star rating, a little happy review. It really helps out the show a lot. All you sexy beaches, have a fantastic night.
Don't forget to tune into Traveler's Moon. We will be live in just about 10 minutes. So head on over to Facebook, find our page if you haven't already. Be watching for that live video to get started up, and we'll be right back. Have a good night, guys.